Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to look at the team list for round 14 of the 2024 NRL season. But first we'll have a look at the Sportsdeck Dream Team. So you can see we scored a 692 for this week, which was actually good enough. I just realised I'm on the wrong screen. For about a 50 rank increase, so into the top 400. Now just outside the top 10%. But we'll continue to push forward. So I guess we had, I think we ended up with 15 players or 14 players, something like that. Might have actually been 13 with Teddy out, but you know, we got Marshall King with an 80, was a good start. Curran with the 63 was good. Terrell May, the obvious star, with 105, absolute massive effort from him. Sam Hughes with the 19 is what it is. I'm not sure if that actually counted. I'll have to go back and have a look. Our second row, Smithies and Funifuaki was solid with 48, 49. Nikora was a bit disappointing with the 24. We only had Dylan Brown for our halves, so 57 is okay. Eero 42 and Strange 37, so we didn't actually get anything from Talangi. So I think, yeah, so far so good. And then Teddy obviously didn't play as well due to the late call-up for Origin. Armstrong with the 16 was flat, but it was a wet night there in Newcastle. And Weeks with the 73 just continues to pump out big scores for us. You can see he's up to 544k, absolutely insane. And Trey Fuller with the 22. So just doing a quick count, I think we ended up with 14. So it probably was Armstrong 16 that dropped out. So, you know, a few low scores still, but, you know, any green arrow is a good arrow. Pretty sure there wasn't a head-to-head matchup. No, and I haven't looked at the team list yet, but the targets are probably going to be for Feeder and for Noah Blake. You know, probably the two big weapons that I'm targeting, or two of the three that I'm targeting across the leagues. The other one being Appy Coruscant, who I've already got. But we'll have a look at team lists and see. I haven't looked at these yet, even though it is about 10 past 4 now. So, starting with the Dragons and Tigers on Thursday night. That's weird. I don't remember them usually having a Thursday night game after Origin. Must be a new thing they're doing. But I guess because of that, we won't see Ben Hunt on the list. You know, it's a bit tough to back up 24 hours after Origin. Just looking through, it looks very much the same team that played last week. Did Bellin start? Probably. So they've got the Origin boys on the extended reserve just to see how they go. But I wouldn't have thought, you know, they'd play 24 hours later. For the Tigers, so Olam back. I thought Naden was back. He's in the 14. That's an interesting call. Alex Lobb, is he on debut maybe? I don't remember that name. Oh, second game for the year. So interesting that Charlie Staines has moved into the centres. So I guess more of a winger, or I know he thinks he's a fullback. So see how he goes in the centres will be interesting. You know, the forward pack looks pretty solid. So obviously no Papali, no Bateman. So the likes of Fonu, Seyfarth probably have some good job security if you are looking to target a mid-price option from the Tigers. Obviously, Appy Coruscant we've spoken about before, and they did actually sell Jake Simpkin to Manly. So, you know, that just obviously, you know, the way they've set up their bench probably really locks in Coruscant for 80 minutes. And Big Stefano, obviously, if you're looking for a more premium forward option there. Titans Rabbitohs. So Keanu Kinney back at fullback. I know they talked about Jaden Campbell being good to go. Looks like he's in the 19. Phil Sammy back is a big in for the Titans. Kieran Foran back. Although I thought Weaver went alright, but I guess they like foreign. Forward pack, Pahulu making a start. I don't know if that's a first for him. I know they are struggling a bit for middle forwards with Jolliffe, Big Tino out long term. Yeah, so Dave Fafita, obviously, absolute weapon, get him in. The Rabbitohs, so Cody Walker named in the 7 again, so hopefully we get to see that combo of Whiten and Walker in the halves. Alex Johnston back, I think, is good news. Kalamatangi, was he named in the Origin team, or was it? No, I think it was Olaquatu. I think I was getting those two confused. So he should be good to go. Just looking at their extended benches, no Origin players for either team, so that works out all right. Excuse me. Cowboys, Warriors. So the Cowboys team looking pretty similar to what they rolled out on Sunday. So Fini Furiaki named to start again. I'd imagine, yep, Nanai, Cotter, Robson, Dearden all named on the bench. Talangi, Holmes actually had a lot of Origin players, the Cowboys. So, might see some late changes there. When do they play? Saturday, Arvo. Could be all right to go. For the Warriors, still no Sean Johnson. So I know I've got him in fantasy and Sportsdeck, I think. So unlucky there for me. But Harris Tavita in the 6, I think, was he in last time? Possibly. I can't remember. Doesn't really say. It must have been. But C&K back at fullback, so two are picky in their reserves. Adam Fanor Blake back in, so definitely one to look at this week. Obviously, you could also go up Tohu Harris at a bit of a discount. Interestingly, Jackson Ford named in the front row. Typically more of an edge forward, but I guess they prefer Barnett on the edge clearly. Kate Ball on the bench too, so be interesting to see how they use those rotations. I just noticed Tom Chester on the bench as like the utility, and Sam McIntyre named at hooker. I didn't pick that up before. What's happened to Jakey Granville? Don't know. Doesn't say. So you'd imagine if Robson's good to go, he'll slot straight in there, but we'll have to see. Broncos Sharks. So the Broncos, Tony Staggs back. So for those that got on Karapani early, this is what happens. I guess maybe when Cobbo goes back on Origin duty, he might get a third game, but you got to wait a while for that. Payne Haas named to start, Pat Carrigan named to start, so the Broncos aren't messing around. Reece Walsh too, naming all of their Origin assets. So pretty strong team they've put out. While for the Sharks, no Nico Hines named, not even in the extended reserve. So obviously going to give him another week's rest with that calf. Other than that, Cam McInnes named to back up, which is interesting. Talakai on the edge for Teague Wilton. Why is Teague Wilton out? Shoulder problem. Okay, cool. Storm and Knights. So Fa'alongo named at fullback. No Pappenhausen, so he was due about round 14. But as predicted, they're going to be quite cautious with him. Tyron Wishart still at 6, a nice one to target. Eli Katoa, if you're looking for a keeper, can target him. Notice Harry Grant's been named to back up. Doesn't play 80 minutes in Origin typically, so expect that to be the case. While for the Knights, doesn't look like too many changes from the team last week. Looks pretty much the same, so backing the boys to just be better this week. Don't hate it from Adam O'Brien. Panthers, Sea Eagles. So Dane Laurie at fullback. So obviously Dylan Edwards out for a while. Alamotti is pretty well locked in now. It looks like Taylor May's contract's going to get ripped up, so you can get on him if you wish. Luai back in. So Martin and Yo named a backup as well, which is good. And for the Seagulls, so Hopewadi, Lehigh Hopewadi, perhaps. I don't know his first name, if I'm being honest. Named at fullback, and they've gone with Cooler back in the centres with Garrick. So could be one to have a look at. I don't remember Manly's bye coverage off the top of my head. I feel like they play 16 but not 17. So I guess if you're looking for a number for round 16 at a cheap price, he could be your guy. Olaquatu named to back up. Ben Travojevic still in the second row, which is good signs for those that held. DCE to back up, obviously. Pretty much the same team they rolled out before the bye, as far as I can tell, except for Cooler coming back in. Bulldogs Eels. So the Bulldogs, Crichton, Burton back. Other than that, so Hutchinson misses out. Blake Wilson on the wing for Addo Carr. Bench looks the same. So Hopoi might be a cheap option to look at as well. I'm not sure if he's front row or second row. Depends on the format. But Bulldogs will cover 16 and 17. For Supercoach, you can wait because they'll have the buy in round 15. So you can just get on in round 16. But he did look really good on debut. And for the Eels, so Blaze Talungi in the centres, there was a bit of a whisper he'd get a run there. So nice for those that held on. Madison still missing by the looks of it. I know in the extended reserve, so it could be elevated late. And obviously, being the last game, it's one that you'll have to wait all weekend for, so might not be worth the stress. So I think that's the team. So I guess the big ones, obviously Nico Hines not backing up if you've got him. Sean Johnson not quite back yet. Pappenhausen still not quite back yet. It's more, and it's going to change. As people back up or don't back up, as the case may be. Obviously, injuries can occur tomorrow night as well. So just being mindful of all that, and then obviously making the move. So for that reason, I'll probably do the tops, chops, traps, and slaps on Thursday. I was gonna, do the round preview on Friday, but I might just try and incorporate them both somehow. Because I guess, based on this, it doesn't change too many of my trades, if I'm being honest. So it'll be more of a discussion for other options that people might be pondering. I'll think about that, but it probably won't be till Thursday, whichever way I end up going about it. Other than that, I'll leave it there. So thank you very much as always for watching. Give us a comment if you've got anything to say on it. Give us a like if you enjoy the team list stuff. Give us a subscribe if you want all the fantasy sports content that I've got going. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.